In the field, they are mortal enemies. But snakes and horses are closely linked when it comes to saving human lives. Both species are involved with the creation of snakebite serum, or anti-venom.
She's traveling through the wild. She's searching for the truth. Between nature's child, she's gonna find the proof. Breaking up the trail, she's gonna find the answers. She's gonna tell the tale. She's gonna tell the tale. Keep it wild, keep it free. This could be our last chance to see.
Last week, we looked at snakes and horses, mortal enemies, yet together they save human lives. These two species are used in the production of snakebite antivenom. The horses used for antivenom production are healthy. Often injured retired racehorses and jumpers, they have a renewed purpose, as well as fantastic care, nourishing food, and lifelong freedom in the wide paddocks. We saw rinkels, puffadder, and black mamba being milked for their venom, which is then used in antivenom production. With herpetologist Mike Perry on hand, we had an opportunity to learn about fangs and snake behavior. Mike, what's the process once the snake has been milked?
This venom you can see is a fluid. This venom is then desiccated. So the active components then remains behind, and that is what I sell, dry snake venom. That is how I deliver it to the anti-venom unit.
The pooled venom from a number of snakes of the same species is processed, freeze-dried, and sent to the anti-venom unit. Here, plasma containing antibodies from horse blood is separated from the blood cells. These antibodies are the life-saving proteins that neutralize the lethal effects of a snake bite. Even though there are deadly enemies, snakes ironically help to save us. Mike, in all the years that you've been working with snakes, have you ever been bitten?
I've had 2 bites, Michelle.
So you're a snake bite survivor.
I am, yeah.
There are 3 types of venom. Snakes like the boomslang and vine snake have hemotoxic venom, which causes swelling and continuous bleeding. Cobra and mamba venom is neurotoxic and affects the central nervous system, resulting in muscle paralysis. While adders have cytotoxic venom, which causes massive tissue destruction, often resulting in amputation. All can be fatal. Snakes and horses share a common purpose that saves thousands of lives. Anti-venom production is vital, especially in a country like South Africa, which is home to a large variety of highly venomous snakes. Playing a vital role in the anti-venom process are horses, who have become man's other best friend. The process is highly controlled, the animals are not harmed, whilst being hugely beneficial to mankind. And that's where our story today picks up. We're visiting the anti-venom unit in Johannesburg to interact with the horses and to learn more about the anti-venom production process. It's a horse's life at the anti-venom unit, where these intelligent animals are loved, extremely well cared for, and treated as family. Most of these horses were saved from euthanasia after injury and happily live out their lives in open paddocks. These are working horses, although no muscle power is required. The horses are injected with small doses of snake venom over many months to build up resistance. They metabolize the venom and produce antibodies, which are separated and processed after the horses donate blood. So, retired from active work and blissfully free they may be, but they still earn their keep. The horses are not harmed by the process at all, nor does it limit their lives. In fact, they're in superb condition, free-spirited, and evidently very contented. Many of these horses are ex-show jumpers, ex-race horses, and retirement here certainly gives them a new purpose on life, saving human lives. Yanni, you've been doing this for 37 years, so you know horses. Do you think that being here gives them a new purpose?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's no other ways that you can see. It's like a retirement village for them. You know, all they do here is eat and relax, and that's it. And as you can see, during the day, they're out in the paddocks and they eat grass and enjoy themselves. It's just a relaxing place for them.
Yanni, why this passion?
I'm an animal lover, you know, I love my horses. And, yeah, it's nice to take care of the horses and to look after them and see that they're doing well, yeah.
My great new discovery is that a dog is man's first best friend, and wow, a horse is also man's best friend.
I would say yes, yeah. I prefer horses to dogs, I don't know why.
And horses provide humankind with such a great service through anti-venom.
Hey, so you can't describe it. I mean, there's so many things you can use a horse for, you know, and there's so many purposes. Yeah, they save people's life, and not even people's, animals too. I mean, there's a lot of animals getting bitten by snake bites and all this and that.
Horses are the ideal species for anti-venom production. Compared to other animals, they have a large volume of blood, approximately 8% of body mass, or around 40 litres in an average animal. The likelihood of disease transmission from horses to humans is also minimal. These are healthy, fit, strong animals, and their life-giving contribution to anti-venom production does not traumatize them or impair them in any way. All round, it's a win-win situation. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
This could be our last chance to see. She's searching for the truth.
You're with Wild Limited, and today we join Tsepo Makwe to see how snake anti-venom is produced. A steady supply is vital in South Africa, and production started as early as 1928, but was limited to the Cape Cobra and Puffadder anti-venom. Today, a single polyvalent anti-venom covers 10 species, while a monovalent anti-venom is produced specifically for boomslang bites. Wow, this is a very high-tech laboratory. Anti-venom is produced in a controlled environment. So this is the heart of anti-venom.
This is where everything happens. This is where we start to convert all the plasma that we get from the horse right into getting the anti-venom at the end of the day.
Tsepo, what is anti-venom essentially?
Simply put, anti-venom is just a solution of antibodies which neutralizes the effects of venoms in humans and in animals.
Talk us through the process of how it's made.
It basically starts with the horse donating some blood, and then we retrieve plasma from that blood. Then we take the plasma through a series of steps of filtration and digestion. That's where then we tend to isolate the antibodies, and then we purify them to get rid of the unwanted material up until we can finally get the antivenom that we actually need.
So horse antibodies are the life-saving proteins that counteract the deadly effects of venom. Are only horses used to make anti-venom, or could you use the blood from other animals?
We can use other animals, but the reason why we decided to use horses as well is because there's a sizable volume of blood that we can get. There's also transferable infections that we can get from other animals into humans.
And how often does the horse donate the blood?
We've got a series of schedules that we actually follow up. After the horse donates blood, we give it a few weeks so that it can rest, it can build up antibodies, and then after that we can start using it again to donate blood as well.
Remember that these horses have been saved and not only have a new lease on life, but also give that to others through donating blood. Tsepo, this is such interesting work because it's science, but also with animals as well. How did you find yourself doing this work?
Well, it was a matter of challenging myself because basically I didn't know much about this field. So I decided to go into this and then just try and explore and go and see how we can help save as many lives as possible out there.
If one of our viewers is bitten by a snake, do you have a message for them?
Yes, being bitten by a snake definitely is not a death sentence. Hobane meriane e re etsang hona mona e ka kgona hore kgone ho thusa o kgone ho phela o tswele pele o ska lahlehelwa ke letsoho kapo ke leoto kapo le bophelo ba hao.
So what you're doing is vital work for the citizens of this country.
It is actually an essential part of what we are doing so that at least at the end of the day the health sector as well is provided with good anti-venom so that lives and limbs can also be saved for a lot of people out there.
Some of the horses at the Anti-Venom Unit have been here for up to 20 years. They're healthy, they're happy, and their role is invaluable. So when you're bitten, it's the horses that help save you. The immaculate stables are testimony to the excellent care they receive. These are contented animals.
Yanni, the horse that you're with has been here for how long?
This horse has been here for 18 years now. It's one of my favorite horses. I love him very much.
So what's it like for the horses to donate blood?
Same as like we as human beings, you know. I mean, we donate blood to save lives. And the same with these horses. I mean, they donate blood also to save lives.
Why make use of horses as opposed to any other animals?
Because they're so easy to handle, you know, and they learn so quick. They're very fast learners. Thank you, horsey. Enjoy your food, eh? Okay.
The bond between the horses and their caregiver is one of love and trust, and these noble beasts are truly part of the family. Back inside the Anti-Venom Unit, we meet Mandla Mavimbela. He's responsible for quality assurance and making sure that the products continually meet the high standards required.
Mandla, from a quality assurance perspective, what does that mean?
Quality assurance basically is assuring quality. By that, in simple terms, we mean that you assure that the quality of the product is up to standard and that the product will actually do what it's supposed to do.
From the snakebite victim's perspective, why is quality assurance important?
Quality assurance is important because when a victim has been bitten by a snake, they need to be assured that when they receive treatment, that the actual product will work.
How important are horses in the production of antivenom?
Horses play a pivotal role in the manufacture of antivenom, in that they provide us with the key ingredient, which is their antibodies, which we process further to produce antivenom. So that is a very important contribution that make, and I think all of us should appreciate that.
So Mandla, how much antivenom is produced here and who do you supply?
Our facility here has got the capacity to produce enough antivenom to meet demand. And we supply local hospitals through the Department of Health, and we supply also overseas. And basically we supply, we're a global supply, we supply the whole world, so to speak.
So this is an accolade for South Africa then?
Yeah, definitely.
Now that we've seen how it's produced, let's learn how it helps in real life. Stay tuned to see the effects of snake bites and antivenom in the victim.
She's searching for the truth.
You're with Wild Limited, and we're leaving Johannesburg's Anti-Venom Unit and heading to Potchefstroom Hospital, where we're meeting up with Dr. Roger BlayLock to discuss the effects of snakebite and antivenom.
Antivenom should never be injected by a layperson. Some people are allergic, resulting in anaphylactic shock, which can kill you. Whereas you can be bitten by a snake and survive without the anti-venom injection. The best thing you can do, get yourself to a hospital as quick as possible.
If you've been bitten by a snake, the priority is get to a hospital, as they have the expertise to deal with snake bites. This is potentially a life or death situation, and every second counts. There are 3 types of venom. One causes hemorrhaging, another destroys tissue, and a third type causes paralysis.